Hey everyone, welcome to Nicole's Needlework. Today is Friday, August 30th, 2019, and it's right around 2:30 p.m. I got off work a little early today, so I thought I'd do a quick video and share what I've been up to. So, August was pretty busy. During the first weekend of August, we went down to Florida and saw our moms, and then second week we helped Bradley move into his house that he's renting with two other friends up at University of South Carolina. And then a week and a half later, school started. So we're just trying to get back into the routine of homework and lunches and getting up early. I always get up early, but the kids now getting up early. So Matthew, he's my youngest. He's now in 8th grade. And Jake, he will be 17 on the 2nd. It's so hard to believe. He's now a junior in high school, and then Bradley, sophomore. So they're growing up. Let's see, trying to think. So I haven't really worked on a lot. I've been kind of monogamous. I've been working on a sampler and a shawl. So I've just been kind of working on one project at a time lately. But I did get 2 things finished, and I got some other things, some other shawls blocked, so I'll show those. Sorry if I'm a little scattered. I haven't done this in a while. I gotta get back in practice. So anyway, this is Chessie and Me, Sarah Casey Unwin, 1848. I love how this turned out. So I used the 36 count vintage pearled barley by Lakeside Linens and all the called for threads 1/2. And this is a kit I got at Country Sampler. So happy with that. I can't wait to get it framed. I want to make a trip up to Stitch and Frame, take this and a couple other things. So the other thing I finished was this Cassiani, I think that's how you pronounce it, shawl by D. O'Keefe. And this is just a really pretty lace shawl, half circle. And I used the Fiber Story yarn I got at Spun in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I had to rip back. I did this lace and I messed up somehow, and I probably got to about here and I had to rip back, but I fixed it. It's beautiful. I love how it turned out. So this one you can wear like this. So that'll be real nice in the winter. Or if you wanted to, you could wear it like this. So very pretty. Feminine. So I love how that turned out, and it was a lot of fun to knit, even though I messed it up. So I also got my Suburban Wrap blocked by Joji Locatelli. And this was the second one I knit. First one I gave to a friend at work, and this one is mine. I love all the different sections in here. It's so much fun. And this was all knit with Madeline Tosh Merino Light. And this is Antler, Sugar Plum, and I think it was El Greco, which is just a dark charcoal gray. And then I also blocked my Exploration Station by Stephen West. This turned out huge and I love it. Man, I love this shawl so much. And this was the one where I copied that other girl on Ravelry. I copied all the colors she used, except the gray. The gray is the one I got in Chicago. But I love it. And this will be a real nice one. Cozy to wear in the winter. It's hard to think about it when it's 90, it's 88, but probably feels like 95 right now. So I have 3 more I need to get blocked. Bradley, since Bradley moved out, Matthew moved into Bradley's old room, and I'm making Matthew's old room into a craft room. So I'm so excited. I scraped, my husband and I and the kids, we all scraped off the wallpaper border. There was a cutesy little sports border in there. And one half of the room is red and the other half is like a beige, and that's all gonna get painted. I got bug bite there. I wanted to Repose Gray by Sherwin-Williams. That's in my dining room and kitchen. I love it. It's a really pretty neutral. And then I want to put a desk in there, maybe a day bed, some cubbies, a nice comfy chair. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So that's coming in the future. We need to get new carpet though first, and then we'll work on that. So excited. So while I was in Florida, I did get a little stash. I got, I always have to stop at Silk Road Needle Arts since I had Eddie. He's the shop owner there, and he's so nice. If you're ever near St. Petersburg, Tampa, stop in and say hi to Eddie. So I got this Scattered Seed Samplers, Catherine Dickinson, 1840. And I went ahead and got the threads from him there. And then last Monday, Fire Poppies opened in Somerville. So I had to go there Saturday and say hi to Susan. And I met up with my friend Karen and got to see Lori, Mischievous Stitches, and some other ladies. So that was really nice. So while there, I got the 32 count ale that was called for this pattern. So Kitten Stitcher is talking about doing September, sampler September. So I'm trying to decide what sampler I want to start. So this might be one of them. Love that. And then also at Fire Poppies, I got this cute La-Di-Da pattern. Happy Life sampler, and I had never really noticed it before. It's really cute. So I went ahead and got all the threads while I was there. And Susan carries thread drops in her shop, so I got some thread drops. And these are mainly DMC. Aren't they pretty? And there's a couple weeks back here. And it calls for 36 count vintage Meadow Rue by Lakeside Linens, but I already had 40 count vintage Meadow Rue, so I think I might just use that. And I had just the right size in my stash. So that's that. That might be a sampler start. These threads are so pretty. So we'll see. I've got some others here that I'm thinking about too. Oh, also, while I was in Florida, I took my mom to Hobby Lobby. She doesn't really have one near her. It's about 30 minutes away. And found this variegated or gradient yarn. And it's like 900 and some yards. And I decided to start this shawl. And this is going the right way? Yeah. This is Sprite's Fen by Helen Stewart. And I'm using US 4's Chow Goose. And there's a yarn shop in St. Petersburg called Stash. And I went there. I didn't get any yarn, but I got these needles there. Because I was gonna do 6s, but this yarn is really thin, and because it's cotton and acrylic, so it's not as springy as wool. So the 4s worked out much better for this. So that's my little progress on that. And then I also started another shawl. Sorry. And that is, it's called Alexandra, and it's also by D. O'Keefe. It's a little hard to see the lace pattern. I'm hoping it'll show up better once it's blocked, but it's really pretty. And the shawl, I'll post a picture of it here, of what it looks like here. And she said this is a good shawl for using different dye lots. If you have the same color yarn, but 2 different dye lots, this shawl is good for that. So this is Madeline Tosh, Tosh Merino Light, and Dr. Zhivago's Sky. And I don't know if you can see, but these are definitely 2 different dye lots. So she tells you where to start knitting that different dye lot, so it makes a pretty border on the shawl. So I thought that was a good idea. And these are US 3.75 millimeter Chow Goose. Chow Goose are really my favorite needles, and I like the attached ones better than the interchangeables, because I found the interchangeables come loose. The Nova Platina interchangeables that I use, or Knitter's Pride ones, or Knit Picks, they don't really come loose, but the Chow Goose I found do, so I prefer the attached better. So that's really it for knitting. I did start a new sampler after I finished Sarah Casey Unwin. I decided to start this Scarlet House. This is Mary Betchel, 1810. I love this, so pretty. So I don't have a lot done, and I decided to use, calls for 40 count parchment, and I decided to use 40 count vintage exemplar. And this linen I got at the Inspired Needle in Illinois. So I got the border. The border matched amazingly the first time. That hasn't happened in a long time. So I got the border, all the one color. There's 3 colors, or three sections, I guess. I don't know. So it's a dark green on the outside, a light green on the inside, and then dark green again on the inside. So I got the dark green and I started on the lighter green. But this is going to be so pretty. And I love this linen. And I'm using almost all the called for silk threads. Mainly Belle Soie, and it called for icing, Belle Soie icing, but I'm just using a white needlepoint ink. But they're so pretty. I love that red. That's Tulip by Belle Soie. So pretty. And so I was watching, hold on one second. So when I was watching Teresa's Kitten Stitchers video the other day, she got out her Village of Hakron Hollow, which is gorgeous. I love the linen she's stitching it on. But I started mine, or actually I got my kit way back in 2006, actually when I was pregnant with Matthew. I think I started it. So this tells you how long I've been like this. I didn't like the linen I was stitching it on. So I restarted it. Didn't like that linen either. Shocker, right? So this is how long I've been like this, probably longer. So I finally restarted it on 40 count vintage sand dune. And last time, when I started working on it the other day, I just had the bottom portion of this, like I had a few letters here and these trees. So I actually finished this whole block in one night. And I've been really listening to a lot of audiobooks lately, a lot of good ones. If you're on Goodreads, I'm on there. I think I'm just under Nicole Neville, under my name. So, and then I decided to come down and work on this block. It's the little barn, which is so cute. And the church is up here, and I don't know, all the back stitching and everything, I just decided to go down here. It's just a lot of fill-in and stuff. So Teresa inspired me to get this back out. And the reason is because she mentioned she had this Valley House primitives frame that would work for it. And I remembered I also have that same frame because I bought it from her shop like 10 years ago. And it's really a pretty frame. I bought it for Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, and I don't know, for some reason it never really fit right. Like there was more room on the, I don't know, more room on the sides or on the top and bottom, but I think it will fit really well for this. So that kind of inspired me to work on this and get it framed. I would love to get it in my new craft room. So I'm just using, I think this is vintage sand dune, even though it doesn't have a lot of modeling, or it might just be regular. And I'm using all the needlepoint ink silks. And I'm stitching it 1/2. So this is very fall colors. For sampler September, my choices that I've kind of narrowed it down. I've shown this before, and this is Maria Selby Humphrey. And I have it all kitted with the Call for Gentle Arts and a couple DMC. And this is 36 count Legacy? Yes. 36 count Legacy, which I'm thinking of stitching it on. So there's that one. And the other two I'm thinking about is Lucy Snushel or Snooshel. Have it all kitted. Or Jane Stanwick's, which I got from Country Sampler. And this is their conversion. So you would have to call them to get this. So those colors are so pretty. So I'm trying to decide what is going to be my sampler September start. So that's about it. Oh, I did work just a tiny bit on Mary Barr's sampler by Stacy Nash. I mean, really not even. Just a little bit on that border. This sampler is huge. So, but this is the Stacy Nash. And this is another kit I got at a Country Sampler. And this is not a conversion. This is the actual called for colors. But I would like to get back to that eventually too. So I think that's it. Plan to start a new sampler, work on Village of Hawk Run Hollow, maybe work on Mary Betchel some more, work on my Alexander shawl, and that's it. Hopefully that hurricane, maybe by some miracle, could just stay away from Florida. It's not looking like it, but I'm thinking of everyone who's down there right now. My mom's on the West Coast, so she should be good. And it looks like it might just ride up the coast to us. I'm not sure yet. We're just keeping an eye on it. So fingers crossed it makes a wide right and goes out to sea. So again, I'm thinking of everyone in the path of that storm. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.